the warm-up. Hopefully you've done the warm-up now, and we're just going to check our answers. I'm going to be using the number line so we can really get in the feel of how that works. But if you want to double check with the answers and the number line, that's great. If you want to do just the answers, that's fine as well. So I'm going to use highlighters so you can really see our arrows here. So we're looking at the first one, 2 plus 5. Whenever we're using the number line and we're doing negative or positive numbers, we're always going to start at 0, and we're going to go make our first arrow for the first number in our equation. So our first number is 2. So I'm going to go from 0 to 2 and then draw my arrow with the tip being right at 2. All right. Now the next number is 5, and we're adding 5. Anytime we're adding a number, we're always going to be going to the right when we add. Okay. Now we have to tip the tail, so that means the tail of my second arrow is going to be at the same spot that the tip of my first arrow is. So it's going to start at 2, and I'm going to count 5 more spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then when we're done, we're going to put a dot on the answer. So when we get done, our answer should read 2 plus 5 equals 7. So you might have been able to figure that out without using the number line, but that's just what it's going to look like there. All right, so we'll erase that and we'll start again. So let's try the second one. So now we're doing 2 minus 5. Noticing that the number 2 is still the first number, so our number line is going to start the same. So we're going to start at 0, and we're going to draw an arrow to 2, with the tip being right at 2. All right, now this one has minus 5. Anytime we're going to subtract, that tells us we're going to go to the left. All right, so I have to line up my arrow tip to tail, which means that I'm going to start at 2, but I'm going to put my arrow a little bit above where the first one started so they don't overlap, because I'm going to be going left, and I'm going to go 5 to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and I'm going to go right down, and I can see that my answer is at -3. All right, so we knew that this one was going to be a negative number because the second number is bigger, right? Our 5 is the bigger number, and the 5 has the negative sign. So that is kind of a hint to us that we are going to have a negative answer. All right, moving on to the next one. Let's see if we do this one in pen, how it does. Okay, so our first number is -2. So I'm going to start at 0, and I'm going to draw my line to -2 with the arrow pointing being right at 2. Okay, now I'm adding 5. So our chart says that if we're adding, we are going to be going to the right. I need to start where my arrow finished, so the tip. So I'm going to start my next arrow right at the same spot, but now I'm going to add 5. So adding 5 is going 5 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to do my arrow. I'm going to go right down below and draw my dot. All right, so my answer for this one is +3. The numbers in B and C are the same. The only difference is that the bigger number is negative in B, which makes our answer negative, and the bigger number in C is positive, so our answer is going to be positive. All right, hopefully you're doing pretty well with this. On to the next one. So letter D says 7 plus 3. So starting at 0, I'm going to draw a line all the way to 7. The tip of my arrow is going to be right at 7. Now I'm going to already start my next arrow right above that, tip to tail, and I'm going to look at the next part of my equation. It says +3. So because we're adding 3, we're going to go to the right 3 more. So 1, 2, 3. Draw my arrow, go down, and draw my dot. The dot tells me that my answer is 10. We probably could have figured that one out without using the number line, but this is what it looks like on the number line. So 7 plus 3 is 10. We know that, and we can check that with just using our general knowledge on adding numbers. All right, letter E says 7 minus 3. So again, this one starts off the same as D, so we're going to start at 0, and we're going to draw a line all the way to 7 with the tip of our arrow being at 7. Now I'm going to start my next arrow right above it, and I'm going to subtract 3. So -3 means we're going left. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 to the left. The tip of my arrow is right here. So the answer for that is 4. All right. And then we have one more to do. The last one that we have is negative 7 plus 3. So I'm starting at 0, and I'm going to start by going to my first number, which is negative 7. So I'm going to go all the way over here to negative 7. All right, so there's my arrow. That was not great, but well, whatever. All right, second number is plus 3. So my arrow is going to start right above my first arrow, and I'm adding 3. Whenever we add, we go right. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go down, and my answer is negative 4. So this one is very similar to the two above it. The only difference between E and F is that 7 is positive in E and then 7 is negative in F. So hopefully you guys did okay with that, and move on to the next slide for some more practice.